Hello YouTube. So I should be studying, but I'm too angry and upset, and just a whole range of emotions have been brought up by looking at my medical records. So yes, I'm going to make this and use it as some sort of catharsis, but I also want to help people. And I'm aware that people can probably somehow relate to what I'm going to say. So I'm going to make a video about living undiagnosed. Bear with me, my fatigue. It's not really bad. If it was really bad, I wouldn't be sitting up making this video, but it's bad. And this is like the third attempt at filming this video because, yes. Anyway, so I've been living undiagnosed with one condition or another since I was 10. And looking back, it has brought on and been a significant contributor to a lot of my mental health issues, my friendship issues, my attachment issues, my I mean everything going on mentally. Being undiagnosed and having these various physical symptoms has been a major trigger. I mean, because I was 10 when this first started, and I just kind of started feeling nauseous all the time. And at the time, I was just kind of like, I feel ill, but I can't complain to my parents because they're married, you know, they're having a new baby. They just don't have time for me. They already hate me. Yeah, I was in a lot of trouble, funnily enough. When these symptoms first started was when I started to get into a lot of trouble at school. I used to be quite naughty. I acted out quite a bit in year 5, and no wonder why when I'd suddenly had my whole life turned upside down by feeling nauseous all the time. And I guess I wasn't sure where to go, and I just acted out. I was naughty. Not in a way that was harmful to others most of the time, but I was naughty, and you know, it's no wonder why. And I like to assert a lot of control over people who are less intelligent than me because I wanted to be in control of something. And it's really funny that all of that became apparent when these physical symptoms started. Yeah, anyway, the number one thing I guess that first contributed to my mental health issues as a result of being undiagnosed is the fear. I remember when I first started getting this lower right abdominal pain, which probably now Hannah has a medical education in living undiagnosed. Probably it's because I've had recurrent ovarian cysts, possibly on my right ovary, because that would make sense. But I remember at the time being terrified to make a big fuss of it because appendicitis is really painful, and like I could still walk, I could still move, I was just in pain, and I was just confused. And then when you're young and when you started using the internet all the time, you start consulting Dr. Google. And as I got older and more symptoms started to develop, the results just got even more terrifying. There was one time, like, I literally thought I had colon cancer. And growing up with just the fear that there's something seriously wrong with you, but not knowing how to express that to your parents, and not knowing how to make them believe you and take you to the doctor. It's one of the hardest things in the world. No 13-year-old should be going through that. No one should be going through that. And yeah, so that obviously contributed to a lot of my anxiety and depression because I was just living in this permanent state of fear. And then, like, the second thing, it's the lack of belief you get when you have something undiagnosed, and just always being that girl who would always go to the medical room, that girl who always complained about feeling sick, that girl who always complained about being in pain, that girl who always complained about having a headache, feeling like she was about to pass out once she got up to the top of the stairs, that girl who always complained about her chest hurting, her knees hurting, her shoulders hurting. That, you know, I just became that girl who always either always complained or didn't complain and had to bottle up all of her pain inside. And, you know, when you start out, because it's natural, when you start out feeling ill, you always complain. Because it's new, you're scared, you don't know what's going on, you want some support, you want some love. And then you swiftly realise that you're becoming a burden on people, and it's just really hard, and you realise people are getting annoyed with you, and people don't believe you, and people don't like you because you're ill, but you don't know why you're ill. And it's kind of led to a lot of friendship issues in the past, because I've always been the girl who's ill but has nothing wrong with her, and it was kind of like I was playing make-believe and making it up when I wasn't, and I was really hurting and I was really suffering, and I really did feel like I was about to pass out when I got to the top of the stairs. Like, this is just a really difficult thing to go through, and it can bring up a lot of negative mental emotions. It can bring up a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression and a lot of worry and fear about ever opening up to someone, and that obviously has caused me difficulties in forming close relationships with people, because I'm always scared I'm going to lose someone. So what have I talked about? I've talked about not being believed, and I've talked about fear. And then you have the feeling like a fraud, because you're not believed by your friends, you're not believed by medical professionals, especially as I started getting older and seeing medical professionals. Why? It was a lot of, you know, you're just underweight, you're just anxious, you're depressed. Yeah, of course I'm just underweight. That's why my resting heart rate's 138 beats a minute. I don't think that was 100% resting. I think that was standing. I think that's why your standing heart rate is 138 beats per minute. And that's why your blood pressure's low. And yes, anxiety can cause heart rate to raise, but as someone who has had anxiety for as long as she's been physically ill, I can tell you that my anxiety is not because of my heart rate issues that I was facing 2 years ago and am facing to a more mild degree now. And then, because you're not believed by medical professionals, one group of people who are meant to help you, you just start feeling like a fraud. You start feeling like a fake. You start feeling like you're making this up and this is all an elaborate ploy in your head, which obviously also leads to a lot of depression and negative emotions. And I mean, sometimes we just need to be believed. And even when medical professionals do start believing us and start taking us seriously, at first it's wonderful, because it's like, well, at least you believe my pain and my suffering. But if they can't come up with a definitive diagnosis, you just feel left out, forgotten about, and like you're on your own, because there's not really anywhere for you to move other than by exercising your own common sense and by trying certain supplements, or by exercising more or less, or something. Or like eating a better diet, like going vegan or not going vegan, or whatever it is you want to do. You just feel left alone, and there's nowhere you can go to get extra support in managing with your daily work or school life, because these things require medical evidence, but you don't have any official medical evidence of official diagnosis. And I can honestly say it's one of the hardest things. Well, no, it is hands down the hardest thing I've been through in my life. It's living undiagnosed and never really being 100% believed or validated. There's been little moments of hope, but there's never been, this is 100% what is wrong with you. This is 100% what is wrong with you because you have this, and this as a clinical biomedical marker or whatever. And I think we just need to stay strong if you're living undiagnosed. Remember that you are real. This thing, this pain, this suffering you're experiencing is real, and it will end. It's not going to last forever. There will be hope. One day you will get diagnosed. One day you will find wonderful people who can support you and who understand you and believe you are not a fraud, and who will be in your corner for you no matter what. We just need to stay strong and believe that it will get better, because it has to get better. Remember that there are a lot of people who have been in the same place that you are right now and have been going through the same emotions that you are right now. You're not alone at all. There are people out there to support you and who will listen to you and who will believe you. And yes, you may be distrustful and disbelieving in people because of your experiences, but I promise you, just reach out and there are people there who will be willing to help. And for people who, I guess, know people like this who are undiagnosed, please just try and offer what support you can. Just believe them and encourage them. And I know it's hard, especially with invisible illnesses that you can't necessarily see. You know, it's not like we've broken a leg or anything. I know it's hard, but just continue to be supportive. Show us that you love us and help us in any way we will allow you to. And I don't really know what has happened with this video. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be making videos when I'm fatigued and nauseous and I have to go to a lecture. But yes, hopefully you've all got something beneficial out of this video, whether it has made you realise you're not alone or otherwise, whether it's made you realise you need to be more understanding to people. And remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.